Hello there, marketing apprentices, and welcome. Are you ready to finally crack the code on your campaigns? Especially if you're tackling your marketing executive level 4, well, you are in the perfect spot. Today, we're all going to become campaign detectives. We're going to master the art of using data to make every single campaign you run from now on a huge success. So, let's get those magnifying glasses out and dive right in. You know that feeling? You launch a campaign, you cross your fingers, and you just hope for the best. Have you ever looked at your results and just scratched your head wondering, why did that ad take off while this other one completely bombed? It can honestly feel like a total mystery, but I promise you, it really doesn't have to be. So here's your mission for the next few minutes. You are going to learn how to become a campaign detective. We're going to give you all the skills you need to look at any campaign, find those hidden clues buried in the data, and crack the case of what really drives results. And this brings us right to Skill 12 of your Kent Business College apprenticeship, which is all about using the right tech to get marketing results. But at its heart, what this skill is really about is one thing: finding the truth that's hiding in the numbers. See, a great detective doesn't just guess, they follow the evidence. And a great marketer, they do the exact same thing, using tools like Google Analytics, social media insights, or your CRM to find the fact. Now, this isn't just about collecting a giant pile of data. I mean, anybody can do that. Being a campaign detective means taking those raw numbers, those clues, and figuring out what they actually mean. It's about understanding what worked, what didn't, and this is the most important part: why. That why is what lets you make your next campaign smarter, right from the very beginning. So every good detective needs to understand their evidence, right? For us marketers, that evidence is data. So let's break down what these clues look like and what it actually means to find an insight. Okay, here's the official definition, but the one word on this slide I really want you to burn into your brain is actionable. An insight isn't just some interesting factoid, it's a piece of information that tells you what to do next. For instance, knowing 70% of your website traffic comes from mobile, that's a fact. The insight is realizing you need to optimize your landing pages for mobile phones to get more conversions. See the difference? An insight has to lead to a change, to an improvement. And what's super interesting is where all our clues can come from. They are literally everywhere. Your detective's toolkit is absolutely packed. You've got your digital analytics from your website, your CRM and social media. We're talking Google Analytics, insights from Meta or TikTok. Then there's offline research, like surveys and focus groups. You've got direct customer feedback from reviews, emails, even call center notes. And don't forget competitor research, spying on what your rivals are up to. A great detective pulls clues from every single source they can. All right, so you've got your toolkit, but a detective without a method is really just guessing, right? To solve a case reliably every single time, you need a process. And this 5-step investigation is your foolproof method for cracking any campaign case that comes your way. So here's your method. First, you understand the clues. What data did you even collect? Get a handle on it. Second, you analyze the scene. You use your tools to find the patterns and the trends. Is anything weird sticking out? Third, and this is so important, you interpret the evidence. This is where you have to ask why. Why did that number go up? Why did this one go down? Fourth, you apply your findings. You use that why to change your strategy. And finally, number 5, you test your new theory. You measure to see if your changes actually worked. This whole thing creates a cycle of constant improvement. You can literally start using at work tomorrow. And this right here is a perfect example of how it all works. The clue is the raw data. You're getting tons of clicks on your ad, but almost no one is buying. High click-through rate, low conversion rate. The insight is that aha moment. It's realizing the ad isn't the problem. The ad is working great. The mystery, the real culprit, is the landing page. And that insight is golden because it tells you exactly where to focus your energy next. Go fix the page. Okay, let's get super practical for a second. As an apprentice, you don't just have to be a detective, you have to prove it. And for your apprenticeship, that means building a really solid case file in your Aptern portfolio to show everyone you've mastered the skill. I want you to think of your APTM portfolio just like this. It is your official case file. It's where you lay out all the evidence, your entire thought process, and your final conclusions. It's the proof that you didn't just run a campaign, you investigated it, you learned from it, and you solved the mystery of how to make it even better next time. So, what exactly goes into this case file? Here is your checklist. First, campaign reports. These show your analysis. And please, don't just dump a bunch of data. Take screenshots from your analytics dashboards and add your own notes explaining what it all means. Next, insights docs. This is where you reveal your thinking. It could just be a short document or even a single slide that explains how the data led you to a new idea. Then, revise campaign plans. This is your proof that you took action. Show a before and an after to make it crystal clear what you changed based on your insights. And finally, competitor research, which shows you're paying attention to the bigger picture. Every single piece helps tell your detective story. Look, if you only remember one thing about building your evidence, make it this. Your assessor does not want a data dump. They want to see your brain at work. They want to see that light bulb go off, that aha moment where you went from just staring at a number to truly understanding what to do about it.
All right, all of this leads to the grand finale, your endpoint assessment, the EPA. This is it. This is where you present your best case and you prove you're ready to graduate from apprentice to master detective.
I want you to think of your assessor as the chief inspector. Trust me, they have seen it all before. They want to see that you can confidently and clearly walk them through your entire investigation, from start to finish. You need to own your findings and present your case with real authority. So what does an A-plus detective look like to the chief inspector? Well, they work independently. They can clearly explain how data led to their decisions. For instance, in your EPA, they might ask, "Can you give me an example of how you used data to improve a campaign?" A killer answer would be something like, "Well, in our last email campaign, I noticed a high open rate but a really low click-through rate. So I analyzed the data, and my theory was that our call to action was just buried. I revised the email to make the CTA bigger and bolder, and in the very next send, our click-through rate shot up by 15%. You see that? You don't just find insights, you apply them and you show the results. It's all about that cycle of continuous improvement.
Your training is now complete. You have the mission, you have the toolkit, and you have the 5-step method. You know exactly how to build your case file for APTM and what that chief inspector is going to be looking for. So the only question left is, what case are you going to crack first when you get into work? Go on, go find those clues.